Hey everybody, it's Murgle, and today lore announced another thing with the Mythic keystone changes that, everybody was freaking out because before, when they announced it, no more depletion mechanic, that's awesome. But then they also announced that they were basically scrapping the 3 chest idea, so your loot was going to be extremely nerfed, is the amount you're going to get, you understand? So the way they're working, lore announced yesterday, said one additional change we're making that should hit in the next PTR build with the goal of providing some extra incentive to run difficulties past the item level cap. I like this change, but I guess from reading the comments, people are still pissed about this, so I'm going to explain why I think this is actually really nice, and what I think they could change just a little bit more. If you listen to my videos, Blizz, if you could change just a little bit more, I think the community would be pleased with this. So, the change was, for every keystone level above 15, you'll have an increasing chance for the final chest to contain additional loot. This chance scales linearly, will roll over past 100%, and accumulates pretty quickly. At level 20, you'll be guaranteed 4 pieces of loot plus a 5th if you beat the timer. Now, at level 20 with their old system, you would have only been guaranteed 2 pieces of loot if you didn't beat the timer. Now at level 20, you would be guaranteed 4 pieces, so you're essentially getting the loot of 2 chests if you just manage to complete the dungeon. At level 20, you don't even have to beat the timer. You'd basically be 2-chesting it, even if you just did the dungeon. It'd take you 3 hours, still getting 4 pieces of loot, which is 2 more than before. You understand? When you didn't beat the timer before, you only got 1 chest, and it only contained 2 pieces of loot. So there was like no reason to do high level keystones because you weren't getting any reason, it was crap. Now if you can manage to beat, which a level 20 is insanely hard, I can assure you that much, but you would basically be getting the amount of 2 chests of loot from it. If you do manage to beat it, you even get a 5th piece. Now, I'll show you the scale because the way they explain it, this is how the scale must be working. It must go up a 40% chance with each keystone. So the way this scale works, I wrote it out here for you. At level 16, if you beat it in time, you're going to get 3 pieces and a 40% chance at a 4th piece. Level 17, you would get 3 pieces and then a 80% chance at a 4th piece. Now, assuming you didn't beat the chest in time, you still get 2 pieces, 80% at a 3rd. You understand what I mean? So if you could just do the level 17, you basically have a really high likelihood that you're going to get 3 pieces in that final chest. So level 18, you get 4 pieces in time, 20% chance at a 5th. 19, 4 pieces in time, 60% chances at a 5th. At level 20, you get 5 pieces if you make it in time, because it's guaranteed 4 plus another if you beat it in time. Now, let's say you failed your level 20. You're going to get 4 pieces in that chest. The keystone is going to downgrade, and then you're going to have another 19, which is going to give you 4 pieces and another 60% chance at a 5th, and then it's going to upgrade again. You could essentially hover around these 2 levels and pretty much always, get either you're going to get a minimum of 4 in the chest and then a chance at a 5th when you're beating the 19. You know what I mean? So this is almost like 2-chesting these really high-level keystones. And really high-level keystones also give a lot of artifact power. I mean, I don't know if it's really time efficient, because, they're huge amounts, but, it's really hard to beat one of these keystones. But if you can manage to hover around these 2 levels, because if you fail the 20, it's just going to downgrade back to 19. It's going to be a random 19. If you happen to fail the 19, it'll go to 18, beat the 18, beat the 19. You could just keep going up and down forever. The new depletion mechanic pretty much avoids the loss of your keystone. You're always going to be getting loot, if you understand what I mean. So even if you're failing these keystones, you're getting a lot of pieces just for completing them. You know what I mean? It's not like they are trying to incentivize doing the difficulties. Now, I don't know what the highest keystone is completed in the world, but I assume this scales even past 5 pieces. So if you were to do level 21, you get a 40% chance at a 6th. 22 would be 5 pieces, 80% chance at a 6th, and it keeps going. So I assume it scales forever, but I don't know what the highest keystone in the world. I think I one of my guildies was saying like 25 he thought was the highest keystone ever completed. So at 25, you know, if that was only one complete in the world, I imagine it was very, 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 very challenging. But in any case, you know, these are reasonable to do. Like, I could reasonably see myself getting to 20, probably. If I was in a good guild group and stuff, we could probably reasonably do it. And now there's actually a decent reason to do it. Now, again, the community is really upset about this, because I read a comment, and it made me laugh, because it says, Blizzard is the only company to remove something and then put it back into the game and assume we're supposed to thank them for it. Because that's pretty much what they did. They removed the loot that you were getting from 3 chests anyways, and then they moved it into the higher keystones, and now we're supposed to be satisfied because they gave it back to us, but they didn't really change anything. They just put it in a more difficult position, you understand? They gave us the same loot that we were already getting and just made it a lot harder to get. But I think one more change, and I'm serious, if Blizzard watches my videos, I know this would make the community happy. Remove the item level cap on keystones above 15. You know how the keystone caps the item level that you're going to get from it, right? You can only get a certain high item level of loot. Either do that or increase the legendary chance on keystones above 15. Like, put an additional 1% chance that you'll get a legendary off this keystone. An additional 2% chance you'll get a legendary off this keystone. Additional 3%, 4%, 5%. Just something else that makes these keystones worthwhile. And I think that would please a lot of people. Or the item level cap removal, in my opinion, would be a really big incentive too. Because, let's face it, when it comes to these keystones, in a lot of cases, mythic keystones are kind of harder than raiding. Because when it comes down to it, you only have 5 people that you have to rely on. And I mean, in a way, if you have massive gear, yes, you can carry, but it's really, really hard to carry people past these levels, you know? You really need the group to know what they're doing. All 5 people are gonna have to be on point if you want to complete these in time, you know what I mean? You can't be slacking. So it takes a lot more challenging than I would say than raiding, because in raiding you can have like 1 or 2 people basically not doing anything and you could still physically complete a lot of these things, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to say that raiding is easy by any means. I'm just saying that I feel like keystones require a lot more coordination than in some way raiding does. I don't know how I'm trying to word it, but I hope you understand what I'm trying to say is, like, keystones are requiring all 5 players to be on point. Like, there's no real messing around with them. So if you want to incentivize people to do these just a little bit more, remove the item level cap. There shouldn't be a cap on these. These are challenging content. This is supposed to be hard, and it's supposed to give loot that's worth using. So just remove the cap, and then there's absolutely 100% reason to get into doing this. You're going to give you loot that is just as, I guess, as good as, like, maybe heroic level loots, as well as the fact that it'll be good for raiding. You'll take it in with you to Mythic raid and stuff, and things like that. So, I don't know. That's my thoughts. I do like the change. I do like the fact that they're adding more pieces, and I'm glad that this is happening. But, I don't know. What do you think? Go ahead and drop some comments. Let me know what you thought, too. Anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.